EU's nuclear option, countering Trump's tariff threat with anti-coercion measures. The European Union's nuclear option in response to Trump's tariff threats is a significant development in international trade relations. Recently, US President Donald Trump announced plans to impose a hefty 30% tariff on imports from both Mexico and the European Union, effective August 1. This announcement, made on July 14, 2025, has prompted a serious reaction from EU member states, particularly Germany, which are now contemplating a range of anti-coercion measures aimed at US services if a trade agreement cannot be reached with Trump. The EU's Anti-Coercion Instrument, ACI, which came into effect at the end of 2023, is a powerful tool that has yet to be utilized. Many view it as a nuclear option designed primarily as a deterrent against economic pressure from third countries. Potential actions under the ACI. The ACI empowers the 27 EU nations to retaliate against countries that exert economic pressure on its members to alter their policies. This instrument offers a broader range of responses than merely imposing countertariffs on US exports. It includes a comprehensive 10-point list of potential actions in response to Trump's proposed tariffs. In addition to imposing tariffs on goods, the ACI allows for restrictions on the import or export of products through mechanisms such as quotas or licensing requirements. For public contracts within the EU, which amount to approximately €2 trillion, $2.3 trillion annually, there are two main strategies. Excluding bids from US companies if their goods or services constitute over 50% of the contract value. Implementing a penalty score adjustment for US bids to level the playing field. Moreover, the ACI could impact sectors where the US enjoys a trade surplus with the EU, particularly in digital services provided by companies like Amazon, Microsoft, Netflix, and Uber. The EU may also consider measures that restrict foreign direct investment from the US, which is the largest investor in the EU. Other potential actions could involve limiting protections for intellectual property rights, access to financial services, and the sale of chemicals or food products within the EU. The goal is to select measures that effectively deter coercive actions from third countries and potentially remedy any harm caused. How the EU can activate the ACI. The ACI was introduced in 2021 as a response to concerns from EU members regarding the use of trade as a political weapon by the Trump administration and China. For instance, China had targeted Lithuania after it allowed Taiwan to establish a de facto embassy in Vilnius. Under the ACI, the European Commission has up to 4 months to investigate potential cases of coercion. If coercion is identified, the findings are presented to EU member states, who then have an additional 8 to 10 weeks to validate the assessment. A qualified majority of EU members is required for confirmation, which is a more stringent requirement than that for implementing retaliatory tariffs. Typically, the Commission would engage in discussions with the offending country to resolve the issue. If these discussions do not yield results, the EU can adopt response measures within 6 months, subject to a vote by member states, with implementation expected within 3 months. While the entire process could take up to a year, it can be expedited if necessary. This situation raises important questions about the future of international trade relations. How will the US respond to these potential measures? Will the EU's actions effectively deter economic coercion? We invite you to share your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. France tells EU to stop playing nice with Trump on trade. What's at stake? France has urged Brussels to stop being overly accommodating to Trump regarding trade issues, signaling a need for a firmer stance. Meanwhile, German Chancellor Friedrich Merz and French President Emmanuel Macron have pledged to rejuvenate the Franco-German partnership, which is already showing signs of struggle. Despite the warmer personal rapport between the two leaders, significant challenges persist, particularly in areas such as defense and trade. In a separate development, a 23-year-old student has successfully mobilized 500,000 French citizens against a contentious farming law, with discussions on the petition expected to take place in the French parliament this fall. In international news, Russia has launched a substantial drone assault on various cities in Ukraine, with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky reporting that over 300 strike drones and 30 missiles targeted locations including Odessa. Additionally, Israel and Syria have reached a ceasefire agreement following a week of violent conflict in Syria's southern Swada region, which has resulted in hundreds of casualties among the Druze minority and other local tribes. These events highlight the complex interplay of domestic and international politics, raising questions about the future of European unity and security. Are we witnessing a pivotal moment in Franco-German relations, or is this just another cycle of political posturing? What are your thoughts on the implications of these developments for Europe and beyond?